What makes a house a home? We've been searching the country for Scotland's Home of the Year. Now our judges are visiting the top 3 from each region before choosing one to go through to our national final. Scoring them on architectural merit, distinctive design and personal style are interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones.
What I'm looking for in a home is individuality, imagination and integrity. And of course, that most important ingredient, love.
Architect Danny Campbell.
What I'm looking for in a home is an inventive use of space, with a deep connection to its site, delivered with such originality that I can't help but feel inspired.
And Isle of Mull-based interior designer Banjo Beale.
I'm looking for homes that are packed full of character, packed full of personality, and something that tells me about the characters that live there.
This is a really special room.
Proper country kitchen for crafty country people.
I think I'm going to feel right at home here.
In the end, only one can be Scotland's Home of the Year. Our judges are visiting the shortlist from the south, and they're starting with a self-build near Lockerbie. Kirtlewater Grange is home to John, Dan and their 3 dogs, Coco, Sheldon and Belle.
We work in a fish and chip shop and we do a lot of hours. So we've created a place which is tranquil and just nice place just to come back, chill, and just forget about all the hard work and everything.
When we were refurbishing and putting new bathrooms and that sort of thing in, we were going to make a difference as far as sustainability goes. So we put solar panels in for electricity as well as solar panels for hot water. And we're lucky to be, in a beautiful area of Scotland. The place in Galloway is stunningly beautiful and often overlooked. And I wanted to have that little feeling of, exceptional drama in a home, but in a beautiful place where I'd been brought up and loved so much.
The property's ground floor has an open-plan living, dining and kitchen area. There are 3 bedrooms, one of which is en suite, and a further family bathroom. Upstairs features a dressing area and the main en suite bedroom.
This is our favourite spot in the home because it's the heart of the home. We enjoy the view and the river, and it connects us to all 3 areas, the veranda and the living room, and we can socialise with friends and family.
Armed with only the basic facts about the property, the judges now get their first look at Kirtlewater Grange.
What an entrance.
I feel like I'm in a theme park for plants and statues, don't you? It's a bit Jurassic Park walking through those gates.
So it's almost symmetrical, isn't it? It looks like one side is a slightly different width to the other, and the windows are definitely different.
I must say, that skylight on the left not lining up with the window below is starting to bother me a little bit. They've really gone for it with the ornamentation here, even that weather vane up at the top with a big duck flying high. It's making a big statement.
Yeah, well, I keep ducks, so I love that duck guarding the house.
It feels like this home has been built to take full advantage of these incredible grounds. It feels like they've got one of every tree in the world ever.
All right, well, let's see if the home's a museum inside, shall we? Whoa!
There's a lot going on here.
It is a museum.
There's something a bit unusual about this staircase that's drawing me in. I don't know whether it's the stone cladding or there's no handrail, but I think it's the proportions of it. It's quite small compared to the size of the social space. They've clearly got a hierarchy going on here.
As you could have predicted from the outside, they're really mixing up the styles in here from this traditional panelling, the stone cladding on the staircase, and this crazy upcycled sideboard.
What is this?
Whoa!
Cocktail, anyone?
You've not even taken your coat off and you're offering me a drink.
All right, let's get the party started then, shall we?
Crikey.
Oh, comfy. I feel like I'm in Ozzy Osbourne's house.
Yeah. It's definitely a party space, this, isn't it?
Oh, this double height space is fantastic, and they've positioned that skylight perfectly to blind me with that crystal chandelier.
You're a living disco ball, Danny.
There's so many unusual little details in here. All these wall lights around the ceiling. I wonder whether they're white light or whether they're multicoloured. I'm going to guess they're multicoloured.
It's bonkers, isn't it? I bet you the floor is one of those dance floors that lights up too.
I've just noticed there's a mezzanine up here, which is... So you've actually got a kind of place where if there's a big party going on, people could be upstairs and, like, leaning over. You can see it would be a really convivial space for lots of people.
I love, though, that they've shown restraint and painted the whole room white. If you're brave enough to decorate like this, I reckon you should just go to town and paint the whole joint that dark blue.
The favourite spot in the kitchen. And I can see why. You've got this amazing view through the garden, the birds on the feeders and the woodland beyond. But you can also see right the way through all the social spaces.
I just see cake.
Are we allowed to take a slice?
Oh, you bet. Oh, and how cute. They've even got, like, a doggy treat station. Look at the sweet little teacups flying away.
Flying saucers, indeed.
Flying saucers. You're so clever.
It's really interesting how the social spaces are connected internally, but they've been staggered outside. That creates some really unusual outdoor spaces as well and keeps that connection to the garden. So we're back home on the ranch.
There is a river flowing through their garden. I'm jealous of that.
The garden's been set out like a series of rooms. We've got a kind of water garden, a play area, a lounge.
There's so much going on, but it's so relaxing out here, isn't it? Reminds me of life in Australia. You just live out on your veranda. I reckon they spend a lot of time out here.
The space inside is such high energy with everything going on, but out here it feels so much calmer, just the sound of the birds and the river.
Gilded loo.
Look at this nickel bath.
You're meant to relax in a loo. I find this a bit stressful.
I could relax in here. It's all about that lighting.
Yes, I do like the lights.
That's a parade of ferocious tigers.
This would get me pumped up for the day, all these tigers. I'm going to shut the door and get all riled up and then out I go into the jungle.
It's a jungle out there and it's a jungle in here.
Wow, this is definitely the primary, isn't it?
Ah, the small staircase as we came in makes sense now. This is the only room upstairs, and they've really gone for it. They've kept the height. This is a really special room.
This is the moody boudoir, isn't it? I really like how they've taken that wallpaper above the picture rail there. They've added a whole lot of drama to this room.
Yeah, everything really is extra. I mean, even the picture lights are incredible. The choices that we've seen elsewhere in the home really come together in here. This is a very coherent scheme. It feels like a look.
I really like this inverted dormer where they've actually taken a slice out of the roof and created a really amazing balcony. I bet it's beautiful to sit out there in the morning and just watch the river flow by.
How will the judges rate Kirtlewater Grange? 1 mark will be held back until they have seen all 3 homes, when their combined scores will be revealed.
As soon as we arrived, we were hit with this double-height social space, which then connected to the dining space and then the kitchen, all flowing through into the garden. And I think that was done really successfully. However, I did feel like some of the detailing didn't quite come together. And for me, architecturally speaking, I would have lined up the skylight with the window below. I'm going to give this home an 8.
This home is absolutely jam-packed with personality and originality in such an unpretentious way. You can totally tell that the homeowners are really generous entertainers. In fact, I feel like I should have a canapé in my hand right now. In rooms where there are 4 walls and a door, they've created very coherent set-piece interiors. The public space is more of an amalgamation of all of those ideas. I'm going to give this home a 9.
They have teamed with the theme in this house. They've absolutely gone for it with some weird and wonderful objects. It's not all to my taste, but they've done this house with a whole lot of joy, and it's a party gaff, so why not?
Next in line for the judges is a renovation in Moffat. Honeysuckle Cottage is home to Bryony, Mark, and their sons Grayson and Xavier.
We think this home's been around for over 200 years. I think it's one of the oldest cottages in Moffat. And It was a small cottage with just probably 2 rooms, and then it's been extended in the 1990s, and then we've extended on the side as well.
We employed an architect to do the plans, the drawings. I gave up work, so I was able to manage the project. Once it was wind and watertight, we realised that I needed to do the rest. Yeah, I rolled the sleeves up and learned as I went along, basically, and did a lot of the work myself in terms of the internal walls, the floor coverings, everything you see, really, the landscaping.
Decorating.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. So basically, it was a baptism of fire. I'm now a multi-tradesperson and work as a handyman.
I've always loved interiors. I've always loved all the home programmes, all the magazines, everything to do with homes. So it's just something that I'm passionate about. And Mark's now passionate about it too.
Yeah, we work really well as a team because Bryony's the creative inspiration and I'm the practical person who puts everything into place.
He makes it happen for me. It's just a good story of someone who's learned everything, like given up his job, looked after the kids, but also has managed to learn that and be able to get a trade out of it. And I think it's just nice to be able to celebrate that.
The cottage dates back to the 1700s. It's been extended at least twice over the years and features a front extension sunroom, kitchen, lounge with study area, family shower room and the boys' bedrooms. The basement level has the main bedroom and ensuite bathroom.
This is our favourite spot in the home because before it used to be a dark cottage and we added this extension and it brought in the light.
But what will the judges make of Honeysuckle Cottage?
Well, this looks promising straight away. Look at those beautiful blue wrought iron chairs and that pretty umbrella.
Oh, we're getting the best of both worlds here, aren't we? Sturdy stone cottage and that gorgeous glass extension.
Yeah, I can't wait to get inside that and have a look at what they've done. It's definitely an old and new coming together.
And it works from here, doesn't it? It's talking to each other.
Shall we go and explore? This is lovely.
Very sweet.
I particularly like this mid-century style bucolic wallpaper with the hares and the pheasants. Really works.
That is a pleasant pheasant wallpaper right there. Looks like it could be a lino cut. Doesn't feel too dark in here. They're stealing the light from that extension there. That, though, that's bad feng shui, having it back against the room, working.
It's sometimes really difficult to place furniture when you've got a radiator on the wall. That's a clever use of space.
So we're in a home office.
Yeah, or a winter sitting room.
That sounds like something posh people would call it.
I am posh.
Wow, look at the light coming in here.
This is nice.
Oh, and here's the heart.
Ooh. Ah, what a spot.
Hi. It's lovely. What a beautiful place to sit and look at that view.
Imagine watching a storm roll in there. You can feel safe and warm inside in the cottage, and then you're practically outside in this room.
It often doesn't work when you try and copy the style that's already there. The old cottage is so characterful, but it's crying out for natural light, and adding on a sunroom perfectly positioned is a stroke of genius.
I'm really enjoying the way the colour palette in here is exactly the same as in the small snug, but used in a space like this, it creates a completely different kind of atmosphere.
Kind of feels a little romantic, don't you think?
Well, I'm getting that vibe from over here.
Yeah, you're a third wheel. Can you give us some privacy?
All right, guys, enjoy.
Oh,
Wow.
now we're talking.
We're in the jungle.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
We've got plants hanging from the ceiling, slingshot by the pillow. This is a room for a wild child.
I love the way they've done the bed head wall with all those slats of reclaimed timber. It's so effective.
There's even an annex for all the toys to keep them clear from the zoo enclosure.
Okay, the kid's cool, but how cool are the parents to let their kid have a lizard and guinea pigs? I want them to adopt me.
We can always ask.
I'm gonna ask. This is mad. What a legend. He's like a little mini David Attenborough.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting a downstairs. I certainly wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, this is surprising. Did not expect to see a full basement conversion. I'll bet that was a challenging build on an older property.
I like that mural. It really extends out into the garden. You feel part of the landscape, not underground in a cave.
I'm really enjoying the mixture of patterns and textures in here with the waffle bed linen, the herringbone blanket, and these bedside tables with the inlaid mother of pearl. Really, really pretty.
They love green, don't they? I think they are a wild family.
Yeah, this is the grown-up version of the kids' room, isn't it?
And instant access to a piano in the morning when you get up.
That's what everyone needs.
And a cat. Or what else do you need?
All the essentials.
Maybe an ensuite. Shall I see? Wow! It's absolutely huge. Oh, it's lined in this beautiful variegated slate. It actually does feel like a cave, but in a positive way.
It's the first time Oh, you'll be able to touch the roof.
Yay!
Yeah, you're tall.
I got jump or I hit my head.
Do you know what I've noticed? People are always against bathrooms without a window, but that's how to get the luxury feel. Mood lighting. Especially in those recesses, it just sets it off. I feel like I'm in a luxury hotel.
How will the judges rate Honeysuckle Cottage?
I think the homeowners have created a world here, a world for their kids to explore their wild side, a world where they can express their creativity and craftsmanship. I think the homeowners have mixed the old and the new perfectly here. You've got the best of both worlds, a gorgeous, cozy cottage and a bright, light extension, and it's really a joy to be in both spaces. I'm going to give this home a 10.
I think what this home shows is that you can have colour, you can have pattern, you can have really, really stylish home that's also really family friendly. You get the sense that the whole family are included on the journey of the design. I've really enjoyed the way this home has been updated and extended to connect even better with the landscape around it. 3 words that come into my mind are family, practicality, and style. And of course, a home isn't a home if it doesn't have a cat. That's you. I'm going to give this home a 10.
The homeowner has been really clever in how they've enhanced the old cottage. They've added on a large glazed sunroom to bring in some much needed natural light. It was a really bold move to go under the building. Older properties are more likely to have structural movement when you're making these types of changes, but in this home, it's been really successful.
The final home in the south is a renovated manse in South Lanarkshire. Old Manse is home to Joe, Graham and 3 of their 6 children, Mason, Isaac and Skye.
So the house is in 2 halves. We do believe that this side is 1806 and the other side is about 1870. I think when we bought it, there was a few original features that had been taken away, unfortunately, but the internal doors were intact, the shutters were intact, and the beautiful balustrades. So that was kind of, we had the basics, and everything after that we have tried to put back in as how it would be originally. What did we do first?
Well, within 72 hours you had a wall down. Joe had the sledgehammer and my crowbar, and she was out with it, smashing the wall down. Yeah.
The whole house has been done on such a tight budget. We're really into reuse and recycle, so huge shout out to all the free pickups that I've had, because without second-hand buys and free furniture pickups, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've done.
The original early 1800s part of the home has a lounge and dining area, a kitchen and WC. The 1870s extension features a formal drawing room on the ground floor. Upstairs, there's a family bathroom and 4 bedrooms, including the main, which is ensuite.
So this is our favourite spot in the home. This is one of our more enjoyable recycling projects. This is made out of an old dressing table and old shelving that was left in the house. And it's also our secret bar.
Time for the judges to get their first view of Old Manse.
Oh, that's a front door colour, isn't it?
Ooh, it's a purple people greeter.
There's a funny little scoop taken out of the building up there to make that window. I wonder what that room's for.
Do you think a window came around as it opened out?
I actually think maybe this was part of an extension and maybe that was a different opening before and they've actually kept some of that space behind.
Yeah, it's strange to have your front door on the side of the house.
I'm really enjoying the door knocker, the cat with a little mouse hanging out of its mouth.
Yeah, it's very whimsical, isn't it? With the planting and the little animals and the reeves. It's all very cute.
I feel like we've gone down the rabbit warren and ended up in Wonderland.
Yes, there's an Alice in Wonderland themed gallery wall going all the way up to that really theatrical curtain on the staircase.
It's very dramatic, isn't it? I love that window nook up there as well.
The proportions of those pictures are really quite high. It's making me feel extra small, like I've just drank one of those magic potions.
Well, yes, we're very late for an important date in that room, so let's go. Take a seat on the
Well, is there room? Perch on the edge?
Oh!
Hey. This is very genteel, isn't it?
This does feel like the front parlour where you would greet your guests.
It looks like green textured snake skin, so the fantasy continues.
At first glance, this is quite a grown-up colour palette with the sort of champagnes and the sage greens and the beiges. But then when you look at the detail, like the little vintage finds and this incredible dresser, you realise there's something else going on.
It's great that they have the formal room with all this height, with the nice cornicing and the cast iron radiators. It's really of its time.
There's cute little stories being told everywhere in here. You've got the 3 blind mice on the fireplace, this gallery wall of flowers. Lots of charity shop finds, I reckon, but brought together beautifully.
I kind of feel like each wall has got its own little kind of framing around it. It's got its own special features. I mean, this thing, it must have some sort of magical powers. I'm wondering about crawling through there later, seeing what's going on.
It's Narnia,
Looks really
baby.
impressive.
Ooh, ah. Here it is. What a spot.
Ooh, right by the whiskey.
Actually, I think it could be this. Oh, yeah, baby. Look, it's even got kind of a
It's got a crushed velvet ceiling. Shouldn't every bar have a crushed velvet ceiling?
hidden bar goals.
The lower ceiling really works in here. We feel much more snuggled in. This must be the older part of the house.
Feel like I'm in a country pub and I love that aubergine colour on the walls there. Might have just slapped it on the ceiling just to really go for it.
They're still having loads of fun in here. They've got the mouse hole detail on the skirting board and the Mona Lisa over here. They're not taking themselves too seriously.
They've got a really eclectic collection of what's known in the trade as brown furniture, which has been unfashionable for years, so you can get it at a really good price, and it's beautifully made. This is definitely the home of an excellent forager.
This is lovely, isn't it? Proper country kitchen for crafty country people.
In clotted cream.
Ooh, my favourite colour.
There's more really nice vintage finds in here. This original Cornish ware jug and pot on here, and some really fun-looking things over the cooker there.
We're not in Cornwall anymore, Toto. And check out that larder. A whole lot of love for that.
You know, it can be really difficult to lay out a kitchen when you've got 3 doors to compete with, but they've done really well with this layout.
And it's lovely having the light going all the way through, so you can see out into the garden where it looks like they're growing their own fruit and veg, and then out into the street to see who's coming for tea.
Well, they are crafty because this is lino and it looks like the real McCoy. I can imagine being a farmer's wife in this kitchen, ringing your bell to get the kids inside for their supper, nibbling on biscuits.
I love a stripy stair carpet. Look at this as well.
No, that's for people like me that get puffed walking upstairs. Nice touch. Oh, I'd love a fire in my bedroom. I feel like the flames of passion are alive in here.
That's a beautiful old trunk at the foot of the bed, and the bedstead looks antique too.
Very warm, very calm in here, isn't it? Love that smoky eucalyptus colour on the wall too.
I think the smoking is actually coming from the fire.
Nifty little ensuite too. I wouldn't have expected that in an old house.
There's lovely light coming through this room. It's triple aspect if you count the window in the ensuite.
Got a really cute little window seat down here, maybe for a pet or something, or a very, very small person.
Or a rabbit.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yes. It's your kind of perch.
But what will the judges mark Old Manse?
It's just a magical manse filled with curio and collected charity shop finds and lots of little fun moments scattered all throughout it. I think the homeowner's personality is plastered on the walls of this house. It just radiates a little bit of joy. I'm going to give this home a 9.
From the moment I stepped through the front door, I realised what a quirky home this was going to be. With all the Alice in Wonderland artwork, the homeowner has really embraced a feeling of magic and fantasy throughout the whole home. For me as an architect, it's been really interesting to see a Victorian extension to a Georgian building, and I really like the functions that have been chosen for those rooms to take advantage of the characteristics of those styles. The home sits in a beautiful garden setting, and for me, I would have loved to have connected with that garden more directly. I'm going to give this home an 8.
This is a great example of home as evolution. This is a home that seems to be accumulating objects and stories as it goes along, like barnacles on an old ship. This home has been decorated with a kind of unpreciousness that's really refreshing. I think it shows that people should just have a go and enjoy making their homes fun and entertaining for themselves. When you're being experimental in your home, it doesn't always work out perfectly, but I get the feeling this home will just keep on developing.
Now that the judges have seen all 3 homes, the final scores can be revealed. First, it was Kirtlewater Grange near Lockerbie.
Danny, you gave it an 8, and I gave it a 9. Banjo.
Ooh, the River Ranch Party Palace. I mean, it was packed full of personality with all of their ornaments. I gave it a 9.
Okay, so that gives Kirtlewater Grange 26.
It's a strong start.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Next up, Honeysuckle Cottage in Moffat.
Banjo, you gave it a 10. I gave it a 10 as well. Danny, what did you think of it?
Well, I was so impressed with how this homeowner had extended out to the side and also underneath the home. I gave it a 10.
Wow! So Honeysuckle Cottage gets 30.
Cute place.
And finally, Old Manse in South Lanarkshire.
Danny, you gave it an 8. And Banjo, you gave it a 9. I thought it was obvious that these homeowners have been scouring the country for all sorts of really fun bits and pieces to make their home really unique to them. So I gave it an 8, which gives the Old Manse 25.
Solid score.
So that means our finalist for the South is Honeysuckle Cottage.
It's a very strong finalist.
Yeah, a sure cutie.
Honeysuckle Cottage wins in the South and is one step closer to being Scotland's Home of the Year. Next time,
I feel like we're going to put on a performance.
the judges are in the East.
Chunky all the way, baby.
As the search continues for Scotland's Home of the Year.